So we talked about this on the podcast before, the idea that when you are trying to start a business, you should start something where even if you fail, you're better off for it. You've learned a skill. You know what I mean? That's why it's not necessarily good to just chase the latest get rich quick scheme. So I had a phone call with this guy and he just is the perfect example of it. So I wanted to share his story. He's a tech grad who went and started a telecom company and raised money. They were going to do global SIM cards so that when you traveled internationally, you didn't have to get new SIM cards, and basically completely flopped after several years, lost all the money, went bankrupt because other companies just kind of beat them to it.
Yeah.
He had to move back home at age 28 with his parents, felt like a complete failure, and was just super depressed about how his life had gone. And then ended up joining the Ethereum team early on because what he had learned from doing his tech startup was a lot of stuff about hardware and software and launching a business and blah, 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 and is now filthy rich with millions of dollars in Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was a very interesting story because the guy was at the complete trough of feeling a failure at 28. And within 5 years, he was filthy rich. And it just hammered home that idea of, when you quit your job to start a business, the first one might not work, but you develop skills along the way. And we're so quick to emphasize how important it is to go to school and give up 4 years and $200,000 to learn something, but also so quick to call someone that does the same thing with a business a failure. Mm-hmm. And just thought it was a cool anecdote from a guy that I met. Now that he's wealthy, he's chasing his dream of personal development and psychedelic mental health stuff. And he's going deep into that realm. That's how we ended up getting connected.
What you just said is part of the issue with college is that you can't fail because the bar is set. You can fail, but the bar is set so low. It's like
it's going to cost you 4 years and $200,000, and you're not going to get any money until year 5.
It is a rare feat to fail out of college. Like, you have to try. You're their customer. They're going to pull you through. Mm-hmm. It is a rare feat to succeed in business. But if you take 4 years and you come out of college with a graduate degree and a cap and have nothing except some experiences to show for it, that we view that as like, oh, that person's on the path, versus if you took those same 4 years, learned a ton of stuff,
lost $200,000,
or pretend lost $200,000, and that person's a failure. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the only difference is that person set their sights higher than the college student,
and might be equipped to go help Ethereum,
and is almost definitely better. Now, well, depending on what they did, I would say there's a high likelihood if they did it intelligently that they're better positioned to make a positive impact. When I came out of college, man, I walked into a business. They're like, okay, here's Microsoft Excel. I had 5 years of college and I was lost.
Yeah.
And what I do, I learned Excel in 3 weeks from the guy that sat next to me. He was great. Stu, he's the man. Like, thank God for him.
Thank you, Stu.
But I wasn't the only one that knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before. We're going to get to repeating ourselves on this podcast. It's episode 80. Sorry, guys, you've heard it all. But the myth of consulting that, you can't teach people how to think this way. Like, you can't, if you have the consulting mindset, that's what we're looking for. We can teach you Excel, but the mindset is like, dude, I studied Crack the Case before this.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Like, it took me 2 hours of prep, or, maybe 5 hours of prep. And I went from having no idea how to answer your stupid questions to completely knocking them out of the park in your eyes.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you can't teach this? It's one of the most easily transferable skills that I have ever seen. Yeah. If you asked me to play the guitar in that amount of time, I could never do it.
No, it's hilarious. You just go Porter's 5 forces, moats. Yeah,
well,
it's like a couple of mental frameworks.
Yeah. Then you ask the 3 questions, like, very good. Do you have any data on sales? Actually, and then they look at you and they pull out their little sheet. We do. These kids got it. No, what they're screening for that they don't recognize is compliance. It's like, look, will you go to school for 4 years, study a degree that has actually nothing to do with business, jump through these hoops in the interview process, read this dumb book, all to get a job that has a moderate amount of prestige that you really understand nothing about? If so, you're the type of person that is going to come in here and do what we tell you. And you're smart enough based on your GPA to like compete and outperform other people trying the same thing. Sorry, this doesn't mean that you're dumb if you're a consultant. This means that what they're screening for is not any sort of innate type of thinking pattern that is impossible to teach. It is just, will you stick around and do it? And I actually think that it's probably a good way to do it, because if you really step back and take what they purport to be a consultant's view of the consulting industry and what I'm promised from it, what I get from it, can I do this better? What you'll realize is like, if I have the skills that I am alleged to have, I am way better served to leave this place, go do my own thing, or consult on my own, take 100% of the billable hours, or screw that, forget billable hours, take a percentage of lift of profit. Like, why would I ever work for you when allegedly my skill set is that I can walk into any business and make it earn more money? I think I'll just do that.
A lot more. I mean, the allegation is that I can walk into a $1 billion profit company and through increasing revenue or cutting costs, make it a $1.2 billion profit company, make them 200 extra million, and then just ask for 5 of it.
Yeah.
Why would I go to you? I'll just go make this guy $200 million a year extra.
We have access. It's like, cool. I'll start with the $1 million business, and then I'll do the 10.
Or I'll just spend 6 months till I network my way up to the
until I convince them to let me take a crack. Yeah. It's if you take a consultant's mindset to the consulting industry. And I do want to say that the mindset that they teach you is a very good one. Mm-hmm. It's a very important one. It's not a bad mindset. It's just not unteachable. Like the way of breaking down
consulting, but read Crack the Case.
The way of breaking down problems, and it is remarkable. I'll talk to people that are peers and that sort of stuff about their businesses, and the lack of analysis that is done when people are. We often encounter this when we bring people onto the team. We have what we call our ROI spreadsheet, and we've mentioned it before. We write down everything that we're thinking of doing. We want to do SEO articles, and we want to do this and that, the other thing, and we just quickly run through and make estimates based on numbers, which we have. We have numbers of website hits. We have friends that have tried projects, and we call them up and say, how did this go for you? And we just fill it out and say, how much do we estimate each project can make? How fun will it be for us to do? Does it have any intangibles that is just like,
yeah, and the reason
it's good for our course students, just makes the course better. It's not going to make a ton of money, but Charisma University becomes better.
No, the reason why is because people are just giving bad advice publicly. So you'll read a blog post about how important meta tags are on YouTube, or you'll read a blog post about how important it is that your business has to get on Snapchat or whatever it is. And it's very easy to get caught up in seeing you see Gary Vee talk about every business has to be on Snapchat. You're like, oh, you get all hyped up about it. And then you go and you run the numbers and you say, oh, wow, I'd have to knock this out of the park.
I'd have to be one of the top 10 biggest Snapchats in the world
to make this as worthwhile as incrementally improving my YouTube videos or just selling more Charisma University memberships.
And what we've found, for those of you that are curious, like what are the big things? One of them is always like, hey, let's contact our sponsors and ask for more money. So in one email, we'll buzz Audible and be like, hey, we'd like a raise. And it's like, cool, that worked. And so it's you find that there are these high leverage, very easy things to do. And then what's cool is we can focus on the things that we want to do. Because like, okay, cool. We sent that email. We earned more money. Is there a project that you're interested in? It's like, yeah, this is one that I want to do. Cool. Make emotional mastery. It's not going to earn any money, but you're interested in it.
Might help a couple people.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the consultant mindset, which is to break problems down. That is very uncommon. So it's a good mindset. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.